it's going to be a joke, and I think the Jets are going to win. Giants have no offense.
The Giants are going to win. Because Rodney Hampton's on it, and Neil O'Donnell stinks on the Jets.
I hope the Giants win, and if they don't, then they'll be in big trouble.
I don't really know who's going to win because they both stink.
Who's the team that you guys like?
49ers. 49ers.
An ugly weather day in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Heavy rains predicted on and off throughout the afternoon. In fact, 2 to 3 inches expected in the tri-state area in a game where the football eyes of New York are upon Giant Stadium. This afternoon, the New York Jets host the New York Giants. Good afternoon, everyone. Along with Bill Moss, I'm Mike Green. It has been a rough week for the Giants and the Jets because of all the ridicule they've had to take. They've called it the Stupor Bowl. Today is referred to as Black Sunday, the battle for New York gagging rights. It's been a source of ridicule for the media and the fans. Players are serious, and they're confident they can turn it around, especially the Jets.
Well, Mike, the Jets have reason to be confident. I mean, you look at this team on film, and they got their players jump out at you. They spend a lot of money in the offseason on free agency, and these guys are accomplished veterans. They can get things done. Their problem has been the offensive line. They just haven't gelled yet because they haven't played together long enough. This is their only second week together since training camp.
They have high hopes for the offense today, but how does the weather come into play now?
Well, you have to run the ball. Both these teams watch for them to pound the ball. Now, the Jets have a banged-up defensive front, and that's going to be key because to stop Rodney Hampton, you should see him pound the ball. This guy's been doing it for years, whether it's rain or sun or whatever it's going to be. This guy can pound it. They're going to have their hands full stopping him.
Do not underestimate the fact that these two teams are desperate for a win. And these New York fans braving the conditions in hope of witnessing the first New York football win of the season. We'll have the opening kickoff when we return after these messages of the United States Air Force. And Dan Reeves ready to kick off what he hopes will be his first win of the season. And quarterback Dave Brown hoping to turn around his team's fortunes this afternoon. Nick Lowry will kick it off as the Giants won the toss and will receive. Tyrone Wheatley at his own 5. Wheatley has some room around side. Now Wheatley knocked out of bounds at about the 46. Wheatley has been excellent on kickoff returns as Dave Brown will take the field. 26-year-old had a rough week last Sunday, throwing a career-high 4 interceptions against the Redskins. He's confident this team can get it going. The offensive line, young, big, strong, but they have not played well this season. Rodney Hampton, expect a big game from him. Callaway Lewis, the wideouts, and Howard Cross, the veteran tight end. So excellent field position at their own 49, just shy of midfield. Giants ready to go. Charles Way in motion. Rodney Hampton the call. Hampton maybe 4 yards. And now for the Jets defense, a banged up defensive front line. Washington, Brock, Chelensky, all nursing some pretty serious injuries. Spindler has been a pleasant surprise. The linebackers with Lewis and Jones. Bobby Houston returns after last week being out. In the secondary, 3 of these 4 from Texas A&M, led by Aaron Glenn, one of the NFL's best. Hampton picks up 3 yards on that first, so 2nd and 7. Giants already in Jet territory. Cross in motion this time. The pitch to Hampton. Hampton has room, has the first down, and run out of bounds at about the 36. 13-yard pickup. Victor Green helping to push him out of bounds.
Just like we addressed in the very beginning, Mike, it's going to be one on the ground in the ground game today. And especially look at up front. See the push the Giants offensive line get? I mean, they have a banged up defensive line. I'm speaking of the Jets. I mean, and they're going to test them. And Rodney Hampton's going to get the ball. I bet he's going to get it about 30 times today.
Giants last week averaged over 5 yards per carry in the loss to the Redskins. First game that the running game really got in gear. Hampton again has a nice hole, but then is greeted. Mo Lewis among those in on the stop. And especially Hampton is going to be able to try and get some more reps because of what's happened on the defensive line.
You can take a look. I mean, Washington was out with a bad rib injury. They're surprised. They're lucky to get him back. Spindler's fingers are all taped up. And Brock hyperextended his elbow last week, and he has a special brace he's got taped on there. Now, you help that thing out. I mean, that's difficult to play defensive line when you can't use your arms to shed blockers.
Especially fitted. It didn't arrive until late in the week, so he missed a couple of days of practice. 2nd and 7. Aaron Pierce in as the H-back. Again, Hampton. He'll be the workhorse. Almost stripped, but Hampton holds on and gets down to about the 32-yard line. Marvin Jones on the tackle.
Well, you know, in the prior 3 weeks, they've alternated a lot. They brought in Wheatley and to spell Hampton. But the running game just hasn't been there for the Giants. And what they want to do today is just keep Hampton in there. Let him take on the majority of the runs so that the offensive line can get their timing down and get comfortable with one back. So they're trying to get some success, and they're here early on. I mean, if they keep this pace up, Hampton might be the real deal.
This 3rd down conversion, 3rd and 5. Wheatley has become their 3rd down back, and he's in the game right now. 3 wide receivers, 6 defensive backs. Brown with his first pass of the afternoon, and it's incomplete. Lonnie Young breaks it up, intended for Callaway, and 4th down coming up for the Giants. Giant offense staying on the field right now.
Dan Reeves appears to, you know, he's down there inside the 35-yard line. 4th down. Hey, what the heck do they have to lose? Now they're going to call timeout and discuss it.
So the Giants will call timeout, make a decision on the 4th and 5 coming up. No score early first quarter at Giant Stadium.
Honda, vehicles designed to help simplify your life. By EA Sports, makers of Madden NFL 97. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And by Sears Auto Center.
At Giant Stadium, head coach Dan Reeves gambling early. A 4th and 5, passing up a 48-yard field goal attempt. The offense stays on the field. Tyrone Wheatley, the lone setback, 4 wide receivers. That's Lawrence Stassi in motion. They go to Wheatley. Has blocker ahead of him, but good pursuit by the Jets. And they stop him at the 30-yard line, well short of the first down. Gary Jones and Matt Brock in the area.
What it appeared they tried to do is they tried to make a formation outside with 3 wide receivers to the right of your screen. Then they come in motion, and they get the ball to Wheatley. And Wheatley comes out here. Watch the blocking come into the picture. You see the wide receivers blocked down? But look at the pursuit from the Jets from the middle of the field. Here's the 3 wide receivers. See them? Now watch the motion, and then watch these guys block down. But watch the pursuit from the safeties over the top. Great fill.
Jets have it. 1st and 10 at their own 29. Adrian Morrell with some room. Corey Widmer on the stop as Morrell gets up to about the 33-yard line. And let's take a look at the Jet offense, led by 30-year-old Neil O'Donnell. Says he didn't come here to go 0-3 off the bat, but that's his predicament right now. 5 interceptions already this season. Offensive line problems through the first 3 games, but they're finally getting healthy. Adrian Morrell, so important to this team's success. Graham and Keyshawn Johnson, excellent wide receivers, and Kyle Brady trying to find his way. 2nd down and 5 after Morrell's pickup. And Morrell also getting the call once again. Cuts inside. Close to a first down, a little bit short. Chad Bratsky on the stop. Giants starting defense. The front line. Michael Strahan, the most consistent there, along with Harris, Hamilton, and Bransky. Linebackers have taken their share of criticism. Nobody works harder than Corey Widmer. And the secondary aggressive, led by Philippi Sparks. Jason Sehorn had his first interception last week. Campbell Wooten are the safeties. 3rd down and 1. Both teams obviously sticking to the ground early on. Johnson in motion. Straight up the middle. And a first down as Campbell thrust him back, but the momentum able to get the first down for the Jets, and they'll move the chains as Adrian Morrell, the workhorse early, as was Hampton for the Giants.
Well, you know, the Jets, they want to stick to the run too. I mean, that's something they haven't been able to do because their offensive line hasn't played together. Watch Dave Williams, the guy they brought in from free agency from down in Houston. He gets a good block there. And O'Dwyer's over there, and Morrell's just able to pick up the first down. First 3 plays, runs.
Well, the Jets now at their own 40. Adrian Morrell again. Some blockers ahead of him. Good pursuit from behind. And he's taken down by Jesse Campbell, who leads the team in tackles.
We're talking to middle linebacker Corey Widmer for the Giants. I mean, he said, hey, one of the things the Jets like to do is attack the boundaries. And here's a good example of it right here. I mean, the tackles, they think they can trap everybody inside, get the Giants bunched up, and get outside. But Widmer is there to make the play because he was watching film. He was in there doing the extra work. Corey's a guy, the coaches say, do whatever it takes.
First year as a first-time starter for Widmer. He says the mental load is a lot different. 2nd and 7. O'Donnell under pressure. Complete to Richie Anderson. And Anderson has the first down. Widmer brings him down. But the Jets in Giant territory off the 9-yard pickup.
Well, that's what Ron Erhardt, the offense coordinator, that's what he wants out of this offense. I mean, he told us, he said, if I can run the ball 35 times and pass the ball 25 times in a game, that's essential. But they haven't been able to get the running game going. They haven't been able to run the ball 35 times in the course of the game. But when you run the ball, see what happens the first 4 times they ran the ball? It opened up the play-action pass.
Erhardt, 10 years an assistant with the New York Giants, including 2 Super Bowls. Morrell on the ground again, has a huge hole, and finally taken down. Jason Sehorn makes the stop, but not before another first down on a 13-yard pickup. Right now, McDonald's game break. Let's go to James Brown in the Fox Television Center.
Mike and Bill, Steve Berline directs Carolina on a 9-play, 80-yard drive, capped by this 19-yard strike to Wesley Walls. The Panthers on top of the 49ers early, 7-0 in Charlotte. Back to the Meadowlands, Mike Breen and Bill Moss.
Thank you, James. And that's one of the reasons why New York football fans upset. They see an expansion team like Carolina playing so well, yet their team's winless so far this season. On first down again, Adrian Morrell up the middle, not a lot of room. Corey Miller brings him down after a couple of yard pickup. Miller, the veteran, on the stop.
Richie Kotite, he told us also, he said, we got to run the ball. We have to be consistent. I haven't been able to do some of the things we can do offensively because we haven't been able to run the ball. Now, they spent all this money in free agency. They got Jumbo Elliott at one tackle, and they got Dave Williams, the other tackle from Houston. And they brought these guys in and they say, hey, we want to see production out of that unit. So today we're seeing some production. They're pounding.
Kotite says he's disappointed with the start, but not discouraged. Anderson getting the call to about the 30-yard line before he stopped. And a little extracurricular activity. This is something that the Giants and Jets have had, although this appears to be a little more on the friendly side with Johnson and Sparks. But they've had, speaking of Sparks fly against each other in some of their preseason games in recent years. They play each other every year in the preseason.
Yeah, because it's a battle of New York. It's a battle of supremacy. It's the bragging rights. But all that stuff's thrown out the window in this game because both these teams, they don't care who they're playing. They're 0-3 and they need a win.
3rd down and 5. O'Donnell goes into the shotgun. Has time, complete. Wayne Corbett, but he's quickly brought down. Conrad Hamilton, a very impressive rookie for the Giants, makes the stop, and 4th down coming up for the Jets.
Boy, that was a nice break on the ball by Conrad Hamilton. And he's a guy they drafted this year. He was a 7th-round pick, and he's really been a surprise. And they said he was, of all the rookies in camp, he was the biggest surprise. He's the one that's done the most. And sometimes you just get lucky when you get a 7th-round draft choice like Conrad Hamilton now that can come up and be interjective right away and make plays.
A Division II player for Hamilton in college. Lowry on for a 46-yarder. He's only attempted 1 so far this season. And this one is good. So Nick Lowry gets the Jets on the board first. 46-yard field goal here in the first quarter. Jets on top.
You see that? That's what he wants to try to get done. And today they're sticking with it. There was a run that got him down the field and able to score some points.
Nick Lowry again to kick it off. Little miscommunication. Amani Toomer comes away at his own 1. Him and Wheatley crossing up a little bit. And Toomer dives up to about the 25-yard line. So Dave Brown and the Giant offense will come on again. Jets lead their first points in the first quarter in their last 7 games. enjoying it, Brown, all game. Brown finally confronts him, and the two went at it a little bit before Brian Williams stepped in. Giant offensive line took some heat for not stepping in quick enough, but Brown said he had no problem with their support of him in that particular play.
Hey, if I was in that situation, I'd like to see my quarterback fighting.
Giants have it. 1st and 10. Rodney Hampton cuts inside and cut down after about a 4-yard pickup. Gary Jones on the tackle.
You know, I was saying that I'd like to see my quarterback fight. I mean, you're 0-3. He's there. He signed the contract. He stayed. You know, a lot of the success of the team of winning is on his shoulders. And he's frustrated. He told us. He said, I don't like this stuff. And the worst thing is, like, I go home and watch highlights on other stations and watch all these great things happening to players. How come they're not happening to us? And you saw some of the frustration.
2nd and 5. Brown fires complete to Callaway. He's got a lot of room ahead. And Callaway taken down at the 49. Ray Mickens on the stop. A 19-yard pickup. Callaway, the receiver, he is most confident in.
Well, because he works the hardest out of this bunch. I mean, you look at the bunch of receivers they have. I mean, Callaway, he jumps out at you on film because he never stops working, whether it be blocking or catching passes. He told us he wants to be involved. And Brown has a lot of confidence in him.
Callaway, the team leader in receptions. That's his 8th of the year. Hampton on the pitch. Cuts inside, gets a nice block from Howard Cross. And Rodney Hampton taken down by Mo Lewis, but a 6-yard pickup.
And Callaway, I said he wants to get involved early, whether it be catching the ball and getting the first down or involved in the running game, blocking. Watch him come into the picture to the right of your screen on the down block. See? That springs the whole thing open. Number 80 came from the right side of your screen and just got the block. I mean, that's what it takes. And he came from Michigan. I mean, Bo Schembechler, Mike, he knows how to block. All they do up there is run.
Hampton with a fumble. Let's see who recovered. Some of the Jets signaling their ball. But apparently the Giants will hold on. Hampton, who does not fumble often, just never seemed to get a grip on the initial handoff.
That's what it appeared to be. And, you know, the rain started to fall again. It stopped for a period of time, but see him bobbling that wet ball? I mean, sometimes that exchange is difficult to take when you have a wet ball out there.
Hampton will come out, Tyrone Wheatley in. Giants for the 2nd time in 2 possessions in Jet territory. They've had excellent field position to start. And they've got a 3rd and 2. Hear the crowd again. This is a Jet home game. Jet season ticket holders mostly in attendance. Brown rolling out, tries to get away, and is taken down. Marvin Jones tackles him short of the 1st down. 4th down coming up for the Giants.
Well, that's tough. That's a tough break for the Giants. You know, twice now in the opening kickoff and then the kickoff after the field goal, they had field position. They're across the 50. They've had great field position. They just haven't been able to get anything accomplished. Now, what that actually is, that's a coverage sack because there's a great coverage downfield and there was nobody open.
That's been one of the problems for Brown and the Giant offense is the receivers have had their difficulty getting open as Wayne Corbett is back for the punt. Mike Horan, who's already punted more times so far this year than anyone else in the NFL. A real directional kicker. And Conrad Hamilton at the 4 holds on. Horan now in 23 punts this year, 18 of them no return. He has been absolutely fabulous. 40-yard punt that time. Once again, 0 yards on the return. Jets will take over, leading 3-0. And Fran Tarkenton comes back. 2 TD passes. First one goes to Bob Tucker. And then Tarkenton to Clifton McNeil. And the Giants win the first meeting between the two, 22-10 in 1970. Corey Widmer, who's been a long-time Giant fan of all the great linebackers in Giant history, trying to become one of them. Well, the Giant defense has really struggled. Last in the NFL. However, they had the Jets in some tough field position. Reggie Cobb tried to get outside and taken down after just about a 2-yard pickup. Chad Bratsky in on the tackle.
And one of the things the Jets are trying to do, you know, we talked about them running the ball outside, Mike. I mean, and then they come back and hit the middle. So they get you running and they get you to have your team speed defensively, stringing it out to the sidelines, and then they come back and they want to hit you right up the gut. I mean, that's what they're trying to keep them off balance, them being the Giants defense.
Saw Cobb there signed as a free agent with them this offseason. Last year played just one game with Jacksonville. They're hoping he can spell Adrian Morrell. 2nd and 9. O'Donnell will throw. Looks down, completes it for Beck. Corbett tries to get outside, and Jason Sehorn takes him down very close to a first down. Wayne Corbett, what a story he has been. Sehorn finally brings him.
I like this guy a lot. I mean, it's like a story of a walk-on at college. That's what he's like. He's great underneath. See him find his way through the zone, then sit down in the open spot. That's what he does. You send your other fast guys, Slaughter, Keyshawn Johnson, get them downfield, draw the coverage with you, and then he just works his way through the middle and finds open spots and sits down. That's what he does so good.
Leading them in receptions this year. When he first started as a rookie free agent, he was the 10th receiver. Used to be a novelty. Now he can pretty much play for anybody in the NFL. And he gets the first down on that play. As Cobb again the call, cuts inside. Percy Ellsworth takes him down at the 23, but a 9-yard pickup as Reggie Cobb helping out.
Well, defensively for the Jets, I mean, they have to become physical up front. They have got to find a way with their 4-down linemen. When you play a 4-3 defense, the 4-down linemen have to be dominating, and they haven't had that out of these guys yet. Strahan, number 92, he's been the most consistent. But in this defense, all 4 of them have to make plays, and they haven't been getting it done yet.
Again, the handoff to Cobb. Penalty marker thrown. Cobb gets up to about the 28. But our first flag of the afternoon.
What happened, there was a blitz as Corey Widmer came running up the A-gap. And the center, Alexander, as Widmer tried to spin back in a spin move to come off the block, was grabbed and pulled down.
Holding. 70. Offense. Still 2nd down.
Matt O'Dwyer on the hold. Johnny Greer, our referee.
Watch Widmer. He's going to come right in here, and he's going to try to jump it on a blitz. He gets in there early. He walks up, and he's there before the snap. So they know it's coming. And then he just jumps into the A-gap. The A-gap's between the center and the guard. You see him try to spin off it and get pulled down. Well, so did the referee.
Penalties all part of the problem for the Giant offensive line, or the Jet that is, as they face 2nd and 11. Another handoff up to about the 17 as Cobb taken down. Cobb starting to get a lot of time. They like what Cobb can do. He's now in his 6th year out of Tennessee. Played, of course, with Tampa Bay his first 4 years. Had over 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns back in '92. As Strahan involved once again.
Mike Cobb got cut last year, do you remember? And he came back, he got a chance to come to camp this year, and he really wanted it to mean something to him. And Richie Kotite told us he had the best camp of all the running backs.
A very quick first quarter at the Meadowlands as the rain has subsided a little bit. Not a lot of offense early as expected. Jets lead it 3-0 after 1.
That's per game 26 times. Now, you'd say the NFL average is 18. And you'd think, well, that's only 18 plays. But what that actually is 9 minutes longer. The Giants defense has to be on the field. That's a long time.
And the Jets now with 3rd down, 3rd and 7. O'Donnell gets the high snap, faces some pressure, fires, complete. Webster Slaughter, and a first down up to the 28-yard line, 10-yard pickup. Slaughter has been a terrific pickup.
Well, he's been around, and what? There he is at the bottom of your screen. He's going to come out and then out. See that on Jason Sehorn? I mean, that's a beautiful play. And what he is, he runs precise routes, and he's here. They brought him in for his veteran leadership. Remember, he used to be in Cleveland, and he went to Kansas City last year. This guy's a teacher, and he's helping these young guys at wide receiver learn what to do. That was a great route.
One of the many free agents they spent some big bucks. He signed back in July, and they've got a first down. Richie Anderson in motion. They stick to the ground as Cobb gets around. Michael Strahan in on the tackle. Let's get another McDonald's game break. Go back to James Brown in the television center.
Mike, turnovers have led to each team scoring in this contest here at Green Bay. After the fumble, Warren Moon hits Jake Reed. Seldom run corner route by an outside receiver. The Bradshaw insight, all tied. Back to Mike Breen and Bill Moss.
2 3-0 teams battling there. We've got 2 0-3 teams battling at the Meadowlands. O'Donnell to throw again. He's got Jeff Graham. Thomas Randolph right there. But another first down up to the 39. Graham, the former Bear.
Yeah, and the Bears are missing Jeff Graham. And there's another free agent transaction they got in the offseason. They brought him in. And he ran the out pattern, the same exact pattern that was run last time by Webster Slaughter. And it was the same exact defender, Thomas Randolph, number 23. Maybe he's just giving too much cushion out there on the outside receiver and giving him the stuff underneath.
O'Donnell 5 for 5. One of the reasons Graham came to the Jets, O'Donnell called him, recruited him, told him he wanted him here. Cobb gets a hold, and Cobb with about a 9-yard pickup. He's finally taken down. Percy Ellsworth on the tackle.
Well, when you spend that much money in free agency on tackles, you might as well run over them. And they like running over Dave Williams. Dave Williams, a guy from Houston, you remember. Watch the block by Williams. And that's what you want to do. You bring these tackles in, and the reason, see the down block, and then Dwyer gets on the linebacker, and that brings the whole thing open.
2nd and 1 after Cobb's 9-yard pickup. Cobb staying in the game, tries to get outside, and is taken down very close to the first down. Chad Bratsky wrapping him around. Bratsky getting up limping.
You know, the Jets, they got those 2 tackles, I said, in the offseason, because if you want to get a quality quarterback, which they tried to pursue in Neil O'Donnell, the first thing the guy's going to look at is, hey, who do I got blocking for me? So they went out and got 2 pretty darn good ones. You saw right there, Jumbo Elliott and Dave Williams. And then, of course, when Neil O'Donnell saw that, they landed him, too. And then the whole chain reaction occurred.
Elliott, who played 8 years with the Giants, and Bransky, who used to go up to against in practice, limps off the field. Cedric Jones, their first-round pick, comes into the game. Again, up the middle, Richie Anderson quickly hit at the line of scrimmage. Michael Strahan with the strong defensive play. And the Jet fans not happy with the decision from Rich Kotite to punt. Well, that'll be the case as Brian Hansen will come on. Kotite has taken a lot of heat with the start. He says, though, that he has the proper tools to deal with it. Having coached in Philly, he calls Philadelphia the Harvard of adversity.
And he's right, Mike. If you've ever been there and seen those fans and the media around that, he's correct.
35-year-old Brian Hansen set to go. Monty Toomer is back. Long kick. Toomer's going to let it go. And it goes into the end zone. Touchback. 51-yard punt for Hansen. But the Giants will get it at the 20. Giants with the strong defensive play. Michael Strahan coming up big. Jets lead still 3-0.
For 7-Eleven. By U.S. Navy. Navy, let the journey begin. And by Nike.
Pictures from the MetLife blimp here in East Rutherford. The twin-engine blimp capable of going more than 57 miles per hour. Snoopy 1 on hand for the Giants and the Jets. Giants 1st and 10, their own 20. Rodney Hampton finds a hole and gets up maybe a 5-yard pickup. Victor Green on the tackle, and a late flag comes in on the play. And the face mask against the Jets. Jets have had some real penalty problems in the first few weeks. 15 in one game as Green.
21, defense. Still first down.
Green's played well, just a little too aggressive right here.
That's not an automatic 5 with a 5-yard face net.
Hampton and Charles Way again, the setbacks for the Giants. Brown looks complete. Howard Cross, the tight end, up to the 44. 14-yard pickup. Gary Jones on the stop. Cross has not been active yet in the offense so far this season. They need him.
Oh, you're exactly right. And boy, how good that is to get him involved in your offense. I mean, he's a guy they rarely throw the ball to. He's a pass blocking type of tight end. You're going to watch him run down the seam, and then when he gets there, he stops and comes back right up behind the linebackers. And that's what you need your tight ends to do. And to get him involved in the offense will open things up for the Giants.
Only his 3rd reception of the season. Hampton again gets the call, hit at the line of scrimmage, and doesn't go anywhere. Matt Brock and Mike Chelensky in on the tackle.
Matt Brock, number 94. I mean, he's out there with a hyperextended elbow. Watch him take on the double team, first of all, and break it up. He takes one knee, just like you're supposed to do, comes up, wraps up. I mean, that's textbook stuff. That's a perfect play by big Matt Brock.
Brock hurt the elbow in the game against Miami last week. He was questionable much of the week. And again, that fitted brace they have for him didn't arrive until late in the week.
Well, he said no matter what, I'm playing this week. I mean, this game means something to him.
Thomas Lewis in motion. 2nd and 8. Brown completes across. First down. Down to the Jet 43. Bobby Houston on the stop. 11-yard pickup as Howard Cross limping a bit.
And I'm impressed to see them, Mike, getting the tight end involved in their offense. And actually, they need him. Because if you look at their offense and you look at what they have, it's Rodney Hampton. And outside, 80's a good receiver, Callaway, but then there's not much. It's a drop-off after that. And they really need the guys on the field to perform, and that's Howard Cross.
Hampton cuts inside and gets down to the 38. Ray Mickens on the tackle. Giants have had the ball 3 times. They've been in Jet territory all 3 times, yet still looking for their first points. Hampton, of course, signed to the offer sheet by San Francisco in this offseason. A big money offer. Over $16.5 million. Giants matched it, and Rodney Hampton remains a Giant. You see his carries in the 90s, one of the busiest running backs in the NFL.
You know, he had 5 seasons in a row that he's had over 1,000 yards, and lately they've been trying to replace him, but they just can't get rid of the guy.
He's got 44 yards on 10 carries so far. On 2nd down, Hampton juggles but holds on and gets another first down. Aaron Glenn on the tackle. And the Giants now starting to move the chains a little bit, doing it with the pass.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's starting to look like what you expect the Giants offense to look like and what they've always looked like in the past. Run the ball, smash mouth, come out and hit some play action stuff. You get to the back of the flat, they got the tight end.
You know, both teams, part of their offensive woes, certainly with the offensive line, it's usually the last aspect talked about, but Giant offensive line, a lot of new faces. They're very young, raw. They've really struggled, but they have high hopes for them. It's another first down as the rain starting to come down again. Hampton follows his blockers well and powers down to the 28-yard line. 6-yard pickup. Let's get another game break with James Brown.
Mike, Steve Berline on fire. 12 of 13, 167 yards, 2 touches, both of them to this guy standing in the end zone. Wesley Walls, no fear Panthers on top of the 49ers. 17-0. Back to Mike Green and Bill Moss.
Boy, they are loving it, Carolina. Believe it or not, New York fans, I think in some sadistic way, enjoy the rain. Hampton the call. Tackle from behind. Mo Lewis comes up big, fumble the football, and the Giants have recovered. Obviously very slick in just the past couple of minutes. The rain starting to come down again. But Mo Lewis coming up with a big play.
Take a look to the right of your screen. Rodney Hampton's going to get the ball. They're going to pound it, but then he's going to cough it up here as he got through traffic, giving it the second effort. Matt Brock again on the wrap-up. And that's what Hampton is, though. He's a second effort guy. He's trying to keep his feet moving. You know, he stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he's trying to pick up a few extra yards. He's lucky to keep that ball. 9th play of the drive for the Giants. 3rd and 1. Hampton has the first down and more as he gets down to the 19-yard line. Victor Green on the tackle, 6-yard pickup. And you saw the pumping of the fist by some of the Giant offensive linemen. Well, I'll tell you what you need to take a look at is number 30. Watch the fullback. Way. See the lead block? He just gets up underneath, and that's the leverage you need out of the fullback. He pries that thing open. That's what got him the first down. Nice block, Charles Way. Dan Reeves believes that Way's blocking ability, he's also a good receiver, he could become of the Darryl Johnston caliber only in his 2nd year. Giants get the first down. Tyrone Wheatley trying to get some extra yards. Gang tackled Marvin Jones, the initial hit. After pushing around the pile. There is a sense of desperation on both these teams. with good reason.
Because of the 0-3 start, you do not want to be 0-4 on Monday morning in New York.
What exactly transpires, Mike, in New York when you're 0-4?
Well, it has been, and I've lived in New York all my life, it has been the hype on this game as negative as I've ever seen, especially this early in the season. As the Giants now with the 10th play of the drive, and it could only get worse for the loser, certainly. Brown looks downfield, fires, Callaway's got it. Callaway runs in, and they say touchdown. Giants get on the board. Brown to Callaway, 17-yard scoring strike. And that's exactly what Dave Brown and Dan Reeves needed for the struggling Giant offense. Deloiso, Brad Deloiso on for the extra point. Callaway, a very steady receiver. Not speedy, nothing flashy, but he gets open. And Deloiso kicks it. 80-yard drive, 11 plays, over 6.5 minutes in the drive for the Giants. And Dave Brown most confident in number 80, Chris Callaway.
Well, Chris Callaway.
Giants lead at 7-3. Gets the Giants on the board, and the ball is touched as Deloiso kicks off. Van Dyke just rolls it in, and Ronald Moore will down it, and the Jets will take over. Today's Aflac trivia question: there are 39 players who have played for both the Jets and the Giants. 3 of them are playing today. Answer coming up when we return. Really, the question is who? Jumbo Elliott, of course, played for the Giants, now with the Jets. Coleman Rudolph and Adam Shriver. Thomas Randolph has been a Giant since his career began. And there's Shriver. Jets have it. 1st and 10. At their own 20, O'Donnell out of the backfield to Morrell. Jason Sehorn right up there for the tackle. And a loss on the play. Sehorn, the converted safety. Kind of a learning process at his first career interception last week against the Redskins.
Well, back to that touchdown play. Watch in motion. Callaway's going to be in motion right here. It came from this direction. He's going to come out and get underneath. Well, watch the pulley lineman. See a pull that throws off some of the defense? And then there's Callaway right in the open.
Callaway told us yesterday the key for him is getting involved in the game early. I would say that's getting involved. 2nd and 14. O'Donnell looking downfield, intended for Webster Slaughter, but he had nowhere to go. Excellent coverage that time for the Giants as O'Donnell took a hit. Philippi Sparks with good coverage.
O'Donnell, you know, he's been taking a lot of shots, a lot of hits, late hits after he throws the ball. And if he looks a little big to you, well, this is the reason why. He wears these extra pads that come all around his sides. His rib protects him. And they actually, on him, it looks like they come all the way down to his navel. I mean, he wears everything he can possibly wear to be protected. He did in Pittsburgh as well.
He accused our producer, Michael Burks, of calling him a fat slob when he brought it up. O'Donnell under pressure. Strahan chases him out, fires across, and Corbett has got it. Jesse Armstead throws him out of bounds, but a terrific play from Neil O'Donnell in what looked to be some problems. And it's very close to a 1st down.
Well, they're in a shotgun offense, and that's been talked about a lot this week, of them going into a shotgun. Watch Corbett, though. He's going to come into the picture to the left of your screen. I mean, he's the guy that he's going to make things happen. Do you know who he reminds me of, and he reminds some people in this area? Phil McConkey. Remember Phil McConkey that played for the Giants? That's what Corbett is. But they say he's got more speed.
Well, Ron Earhart coached McConkey when Earhart was with the Giants. Excellent possession receiver, but tell you what, Corbett, he keeps going. Last year set a team record for receptions. This year leads in receptions as the Giants have to call a timeout. They lead at 7-3 here in the 2nd. Having their problems with Ohio State, Bill Moss's alma mater.
Slightly.
Neil O'Donnell on first down. Looking downfield a little bit. Throw is intended for Keyshawn Johnson. Philippi Sparks on the coverage. This is not an easy place to throw the football, and O'Donnell admits that he's still getting used to it. The swirls here at Giant Stadium can be absolutely brutal. Sometimes the ball comes down like Dorothy's house in The Wizard of Oz. You just have no idea the way it's going to flip around in the air.
And you wouldn't think so either. You know, you think you're in New Jersey and you're here in the Meadowlands and the big cement walls around this building. You don't think that there'd be that draft, but this is terrible for receivers, quarterbacks, and kickers.
Although O'Donnell 7 of 9 to start. On the draw, Adrian Morrell trying to get outside. Whitmer misses a tackle, but Armstead does not. And he's thrown for a loss. Good pursuit by the Giant defense. Of course, both Giants and Jets looking for their first wins of the season. There's some teams out there that have not lost. And look at all the 3-0 games. There's Kansas City leading early. Good NFC Central matchup. Green Bay and Minnesota all tied up. And the Monday night game, the Colts and Dolphins should be a good one. Loss of 4 on that. 3rd and 14. That's where the Giant linebacker, they're not the biggest, but their speed helping out there. Both teams trying to establish the run as you see the numbers. O'Donnell the shotgun again. Fires across the middle. Intercepted. Armstead has it. And he tripped up and fumbles the ball. It appears the Jets may have recovered. Yes, they did. Armstead had a clear path and just was tripped up around his ankles, and Rich Kotite breathes a sigh of relief. Richie Anderson pouncing on the loose ball.
What happens is they're in their nickel package. And Armstead, right here, see him break on the ball? He's the nickel linebacker. When you bring in the 5 defensive backs, he's the 6th guy because he's such a great athlete and can cover so well.
Wayne Krebet is the man that really forced that by tripping up Armstead.
There he is right there. Watch the break. And that's just reading the quarterback, and that's what your nickel backer has to do. You get a lot of depth, and you look at the quarterback and then make your break on the ball.
Big play from Wayne Krebet. Jets call a timeout. By the way, that interception, the 6th, Bill, for O'Donnell. He had 7 all of last season.
You get the sense sometime that Neil, with all the free agent stuff and being signed to the big contract, that he's just forcing things sometimes. He wants to make things happen. You know, it's like he's taking the onus to get this thing going all on himself. And obviously, he didn't see Jesse out there, so but how could you not?
Richie Anderson, right place, right time, as the Jets holding on, and we'll get a first down off the change of possession. Coming up next, our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues. Dallas Cowboys take on the Buffalo Bills. Pivotal game for the defending Super Bowl champs. They try and bounce back from last week's loss. Don't miss all the action. Coming up next, right here on Fox, except in New York.
Well, that'll be a game. And they got Todd Collins getting the start up there with Jim Kelly out. They said 2 to 3 weeks.
Anderson does his job and will sit out. There's Adrian Morrell now, the lone setback. Jets get it back, just under 2.5 to play in the first half. Giants lead it 7 to 3. O'Donnell out of the backfield to Morrell. Philippi Sparks right there, and he runs him out of bounds. Dan Reeves talked about Sparks. Not only is he a terrific coverage guy, but he's an excellent tackler and helps out on the run and getting up on the line of scrimmage.
If you want an all-around corner, that's Philippi Sparks, and some wide receivers say he's the best in the league. I mean, not only can he cover and is exceptionally well at that, but he also comes up and is force guy on the run. Dan Reeves says they've had to put him in situations, though, where we've just said, hey, you've got this guy man-to-man all day because we need safety help elsewhere.
And more whistles. We've got a timeout. 2-minute warning at Giant Stadium. Giants lead the Jets 7-3. 3 yards out, ties the game at 20 with 8 minutes left. The game goes into overtime, and Namath throwing the perfect strike to Emerson Boozer for the game winner. And the Jets 26-20 victory in overtime.
How about Joe Namath running there? Did you see those knees?
Those 3 yards like a long way.
That looked like it was 100 for him. Then he put his hand out and said, don't touch me.
Second down coming up. O'Donnell back to throw. Fires. And nice catch from Jeff Graham. And he has the first down.
This is a big play here. You see Jesse Armstead has the ball, and he got tripped up, and as he was carrying the ball and he was tripped up, it came down and hit his knee and then popped out. And then the recovery, and now the Giants are back out there again. They've been on the field too much this whole season.
O'Donnell on first down, has the protection, finds Morrell out of the backfield. Morrell cuts inside. Keith Hamilton has to come away and try and help slow him down. And we're going to have another timeout. Jets will call their second, so both teams with one remaining. .118 remaining in the first half. Dan Reeves' team getting on the board. A Brown to Callaway strike. Jets with the field goal. Coming up, the Dockers Khakis halftime. JB and Terry bring you all the scores and highlights from week 4 of the NFL. Don't miss Fox NFL Sunday's Choice Cuts featuring the best plays of the NFL from last week on the Dockers Khakis halftime. And of course, in that studio at halftime, Ronnie Lott is on hand. And Ronnie, pivotal in 1993 in the Giants-Jets matchup. Jets up 10-6, 4th and goal from the 11. Lott with the tip of Phil Simms' final pass, and it seals the victory for the New York Jets.
Ronnie Lott always making big plays like that everywhere he was.
It got boring after a while. He made so many good plays.
He's not boring anymore.
No, sir. 2nd and 3rd. O'Donnell under pressure. Gets out and finds Anderson. Anderson cut down right away. Philippi Sparks quickly on the tackle. And 3rd down coming up for the Jets. Again, the Jets still with one timeout remaining.
4 wide receivers on the field.
3rd and 1. O'Donnell downfield for Graham, and a little too far. Excellent coverage from Jason Sehorn. Tito Wooten also helping out. And 4th down, the Jets will punt with 49 seconds remaining. Again, the Giants have just one timeout remaining.
You know, the Jets tried to force the ball downfield a couple times there on 2 plays, and for the most part in the first half they've been running the ball. I mean, they haven't taken any shots deep yet.
O'Donnell sharp. And in terms of completing, mainly going for the short passes, as Brian Hansen is on. Amani Toomer. Toomer, of course, returned that punt for a touchdown in week 1 against Buffalo. Very dangerous. A rookie from Michigan. Hansen. The short kick gets a giant bounce and bumps into one of the Giants. Fight for the football, and it appears the Giants have recovered. They'll have 37 seconds. 32-yard punt, no return. Of course, while the football in New York's been tough, baseball has been hot. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball, Paul O'Neill and the Yankees battle move on to the Boston Red Sox, plus other key pennant race matchups. All begins 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. Check your local listings. Well, it might be 0-3 for the Jets, 0-3 for the Giants, but Yankees' magic number is 5. There's hope somewhere.
In New York?
Absolutely. You have to really look hard for the positive.
This is your town. I mean, this isn't a positive. They have 37 seconds left, and the Giants take a knee. You think they'd take a shot down there somewhere.
The full board's out. Dan Reeves decides, no, sir. Rich Kotite will run off the field trailing 7-3.
I mean, the clock's still running down. There's 20 seconds going. Maybe there's a trick play involved here, Mike.
I'd like to see it. So again, the offenses continue to struggle as time winds down to end the first half. And this is a Jet home game, but they'll boo anybody. And that'll end the first half with the score of the Giants 7 and the Jets 3. JB and Terry along for the Fox Television. Richie